Congratulations on week one win. You got Humboldt State this week. What were your big impressions from your team's opening game?
I think any opening game, there's going to be a lot of good and bad, and so the thing you take from it is our guys played fast. They enjoyed the game. They played as a team at all three phases. Really put an outstanding effort together. Now, in that effort, you can nitpick, and that's the job of week one to week two is nitpick on everything. And there's some substitution errors that we need to correct on for the special teams, and then there's obviously on offense and defense. There's some things that we need to make sure we fix. But all in all, you want to be able to beat a really good opponent in West Texas, I thought they played a really tough, hard-nosed game. And I know they're well coached, so we were able to come out week one and be able to assert ourselves that way. It means a lot, and it just tells you where this team's at right now and just their desire to play with each other and play the game of football. I thought there was great passion and enthusiasm for it.
Talk a little about the way the offensive line. I was really impressed, considering. I mean, they played great, but considering that they were all new, this first time as starters, they looked like a team that had a line that had been together.
Right. Well, let's start off with Jackie Slater does an outstanding job of being an O-line coach. You go back to recruitment of the young players that we did bring in. We have one true freshman in Joe Murphy, a St. John Bosco product that they play great football there. And I think when we evaluated every single one of them, we knew at some point they're going to be able to be an established contributor to us. So, it goes back a couple years for some of those guys. It goes back only one recruiting season for a guy like Joe Murphy, and a guy like Joe Kopovicius. So, they're guys who want to get better. They're hungry and humble. They took their talents and were able to be physical, which I think a game plan allowed them to do that.
What does Jackie do, though? Is it? I mean, obviously, he can motivate them by what he's accomplished, but is it also his personality within the line? Yeah,
I'd say, limit the amount of what he never talks about his accomplishments. He just talks about how do I help them with their own technical issues that they have going on and how to solve problems that are in front of them. And I think that where I like with our offensive strategy, which Coach Carlton, the offensive coordinator, leads, and Coach Bizer, run game coordinator, collectively, the staff is able to compartmentalize for each position. And what are the vital few things that you need to do to be successful? And Jackie does a great job for the O-line of explaining that to them. So they'll walk into a game with confidence, knowing that, hey, while there will be some broken plays at time, they'll have the tools in there to solve their issues. And this week presents some real big problems, big challenges. And so our guys know that they got their hands full this week coming against the defending league champion.
Yeah, talk about this week's opponent. Obviously, a rival game.
Right.
For you guys, but also a big national implications game, just because both you guys are ranked now, and obviously a big game from that aspect.
Well, I mean, I'll say it this way: is I think it's real respectable for our league to show that there's two ranked teams right now in the league, and I think there's a Western Oregon team that's very good in this league as well. And I think the Central Washington, Simon Fraser, have been playing very good football. So it speaks a lot to our league. I think, I think every program, and I know I'll speak for ourselves, they want to be in that national conversation, and to be able to have two ranked opponents in the GNAC speaks a lot to our league. Humboldt does a great job with their program. Rob does a great job running it. And so what we have going on here is a game that is always an exhilarating time for the fans. It's always a physical game. Our mindset, though, comes back to whether or not win or lose the previous week, you have a game this week, and we got to go 1-0 this week, and then you need to go 1-0 the next week. And I know it's very cliche, and it's a head coach saying it, but the reality is you got to have that mindset. We're excited to play the game this week, and you're going to get to play against a ranked opponent, which is makes it all the more fun for us.
What are some of the things that Humboldt does well? Is it just overall?
Well, their offense right now is a lot of veterans, and veteran receiving core, veteran, obviously one of the best running back in one of the best runners in the nation. Runner up to the Heisman Hill Trophy. So Jaquan's always a threat any single time he has the ball. I think Robert Weber, their quarterback, showed last week that he's really advanced his passing game with his decision making, his competitiveness. You see the receiving core led by Chase Crivachet, that they understand where they need to be. So they're running their offense very well. And I thought their offensive line play, man, they're bigger this year than they were in the previous years. And they've got a solid. I thought they played a solid game. So their offense is where I think where most of their veterans are, and you can tell that they've played the game together. You can tell they're going on year 3 together because they know each other very well where they need to be at. So you're playing against one of the best offenses in the country. And then you go against their defense, which they always are able to reload on defense with transfers, with other, and the freshmen that do come up through the ranks. They're going to play fast. They're going to play hungry. We understand that they're a 3-phase game. They're a solid coach football team. So it's going to be a great night of football.
You talk a lot about a growth mindset. Your group especially. You talked right before the season started. You talked about spring ball being great. Your team showed that mindset, and then again that fall camp. It sounded like you thought it was really productive.
Right.
What do you take from that now that you've got kind of week 1 under your belt and have that growth from week 1 to week 2, which I know you've also talked about being key to a team's development?
Yeah, no, it all comes down to our attitude. It's the area we can control, and a key component to having a great attitude is having a growth mindset. And you don't try to say, oh, hey, look, we won. Now we arrived. We crown us with the football fairies, give us kings of the day. It's not that at all. It's like, hey, how do you grow from week 1 to week 2? How do you take, and that's every single day. How do I grow from yesterday to today? So it's that championship mindset we're trying to train these guys up for life, is that whether you close a deal on a sale, whether you have some great achievement in life, you got to wake up the next day and say, how do I get better? How do I grow? And then sometimes life's going to present challenges where it just seems like, man, I didn't end up on the right end of the scoreboard that I want. You take it as an opportunity to say, wait, let me reflect on that and get better. And we don't exist in winning and losing. We know we're trying to produce it. We're trying to produce winning. And so that comes down to having that growth mindset. And it's a day-by-day, moment-by-moment process. And we're just trying to own the moments by moments. And if we do that, I think we maximize the opportunity of getting prepared for this weekend. I think we also, though, you maximize life, and you take in the little things and enjoy the moments that you really do have and make up what you would say is life.
Probably close it out with this then. Nothing having to do with Saturday, but as opposed to Sunday, it's going to happen with the Cleveland Browns. How excited are you for Terrell Watson, the 3-man roster he made there?
There's been some movement on the whole thing with Terrell, and I know they moved him down to the practice roster now. But either way, we're proud of him. He's on a team that I think really appreciates his talents, appreciates who he is to the community. Terrell's any community he's going to get involved with, he's going to make an impact. One of the best people there are in the game of football, and I'm glad he's at a stage of the NFL to where he can make an impact. He can be somebody who cares about people. So, it's exciting for us that our players and this program is being recognized as a stop that the NFL has to consistently come to, and they have. Our scouts are consistently coming through, evaluating our talent. So when you're talking about giving opportunities for a young man who says, I want to play college football, you're able to A, live in Southern California, B, get a tremendous education from Azusa Pacific University. You could be able to have a world view here that's going to give you make you a champion in life. Football wise, we strive to be the very best we can in the nation, and I think you're going to be able to recognize that, hey, if you have NFL dreams, you can accomplish them here, and then you don't have to go out of the Southern California to do so. We're at one of those stops that the NFL is going to constantly make a consistent stop in to evaluate talent, and they appreciate how we bring our players up. The scouts have over and over said, we appreciate how you're training up the young man. You're giving him a completely different mindset, and you're training up in a way that we know if we bring them on our roster, they're going to be a real value to our community and our team.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.